dealing some back.
Yeah, but the big problem for Falcon eSports here, they lack like a proper catch and pick or like some kind of CC to kind of feed the composition more kills, as it's going to be a Gatot Kacha on the Roamer, it looks like. Edward's gonna hover towards the Hilda. So this is interesting.
Man. It's a tough one, man. Hilda in the EXP lane, good sustain, good roaming. I like the Gatot pick a lot because if you look at Falcon eSports, they've covered their weaknesses by having a Harriet that will dive forward. No one's really going to be left behind. There's not going to be a backline that's going to be vulnerable to this Hilda, for instance. But now, if they really want to go all in the dive, there's going to be an Avatar of the Guardian available by Aurora to really deny that.
And now we're gonna jump into the game. So casters, Arashi, as well as Sheffin, we're gonna let you guys handle it as we get into game number 1 of this second match in this best of 3.
Second match for this stream C, and we're gonna see Dax on Hayabusa here, that he's known for one of the better assassin users in the world, facing off against Demon Kite on the Julian 2.
In the world, not in the word?
Sorry for that.
Well, let's see, man. Dax, a lot of expectations for him, but here's a concern. Does he have that target-rich environment to really thrive in this game? Look at Aurora. A lot of them have their own mobility tools, their own ways of kind of solo dealing with it. But hang on a second. Wait a minute.
Balearic EXP.
Balearic EXP. Wow, now that's a bit unexpected. Wow, okay. So now when it comes to sustain, Royal Milk can kind of match up to that Hilda, but roaming around will be Kid X on that Hyla, so we'll have to see if he can match the Gatot Kacha when it comes to the early game, helping with the clearing and the small skirmishes, at least 2v2s.
Okay, so actually Royal Milk uses the Revitalize instead of the Vengeance or the Flicker to be able to engage towards the front, so they opted to go for more durability, Arashi.
Yeah, more survivability, more sustain for sure with the Revitalize, but Dax already making aggressive moves onto Edward, 2v1.
Not level 4 just yet, he actually gets level 4 after the camp, but Edward popped the Revitalize just in time to be able to evade from the danger.
That's going to be an expensive resource used up already though. Only in the almost second minute of the game, you're seeing Falcon eSports pressing the issue, and with the Aurora in the mid lane, they're actually able to kind of deal with the situation so far. So good, but look at the emblems here, man. 3 tenacities in the hands of Aurora. They know that there's going to be a brawl coming through. But look at this, Kid X with the tenacity and the firmness, just making sure that he can frontline so reliably, but the cut already coming in from Edward. When the turtle is up, will Aurora get the setup advantage?
Already used the combo Demon Kite. Has to find an IVU to go in here. Look at that, Renjay going through with the Revitalize. It looks like Dax is very, very low. Ogi Shadow Kill gonna be used up, and also getting the turtle as well. This is a good fight for Falcon eSports as they take Demon Kite as well. Edward very, very low. Gonna be chased by PX7 and also Royal Milk. You might want to say bye-bye to this Hilda in a second. Can he actually get away? Edward, 2 more hits. Can't do it, but he gets to the bushes and he runs away. What an evasion.
Great effort by Edward. They're coming out alive from that skirmish. And man, Falcon eSports, they secured the turtle and they are able to get a kill in that engagement. The fact that Aurora were fighting in the midst, trying to find Dax in the midst of the fight, in the midst of that chaos, getting caught in the middle of a massive frigid glacier onto 2 members. Gotta be a bit more careful there. Look at this, man. The pressure. Once again, Falcon, they just know how to actually push the advantage. And even in the mid lane, they don't really have a good lane to really use to set up a lot of their rotations here.
Yeah, a lot of losing lanes. Even in top lane, a lane that you usually want to see Hilda absolutely dominating the opponent, against a Balearic, doesn't seem that great either. So far, Royal Milk has been using the tree very, very well, even in the team fight as well.
The fact that he can actually stay in the front, again, do damage, do crowd control, and still have that Revitalize in the back pocket, just in case things do go south for them. Definitely is good. Allows him to do plays like this, but is it too much though?
Already used the retro as well. Demon Kite gonna use the second skill to get away. Dax, beautiful combo there with the Ogi Shadow Kill, also Quad Shadow as well. Waiting just in the right time that Demon Kite uses the second skill to get away.
And all that, he still did not pop the Revitalize. Royal Milk, just more than enough HP and durability to actually tank all the damage. And this is what it allows Falcon to do. They make the aggressive moves, they go and cut waves, and when Aurora try and respawn and try and stop it, that's where the counter, the counter dive, I guess, the counter burst attempt comes through for Falcon Esports. 1,000 gold ahead. If this goes on, they might really feel confident enough to actually move towards the jungle into the side of Aurora, but now with the second turtle coming up.
Okay, Royal Milk already getting pounced on by Yue and crew. The frontliners are frontlining for Falcon Esports. Revitalized for Renegade. Frigid Glacier on towards 2. And that is a good fight as well for Falcon Esports. They get 1, they get 2. Demon Kite tries to get away from the danger as a Domain Kite gonna use the Blazing Duet to just clear the lane. Once again, Falcon Esports soaring down the sky.
They just have way too much survivability and way too much crowd control, man. Aurora just confused on how they want to approach these fights. They keep getting pressured behind, and when they actually find the moment to really make a play happen, there are so many big ultimates they're trying to worry about. And look at this though, Dax.
Oh, whoa. Gotta watch out for that. A single combo from Edward. Gonna make Dax get away with only half HP, but I don't think they're done just yet. Edward still wanna invade the jungles.
We'll have to see. I mean, for now, it seems like the action has died down a little bit, but we're seeing that Dax, despite the great early game, you're still so vulnerable just because of the Hildas coming through. And later on, with a Domain Kite on the Claude, able to dive in the backline, it's going to be a bit more risky. So Falcon Esports definitely haven't won out the game just yet. Still has to be a bit concerned about that mid to late game. But you're seeing the Claude to rush the Demon Hunter Sword. That might be because he's seeing all these beefy frontliners, the Bellaric, the Hylas. So wanted to go for a bit more max HP damage. I feel like it's the right call. It's going to allow him to be a bit more relevant, especially if Aurora is intending on bringing the fight to Falcon Esports and, refusing to give up.
Okay, PX7 already very, very low. Getting pounced by Edward, being that nuisance in the front line. I think, even though it's going to be a frontliner, Edward's still pretty much going to go for everyone in front of him. And right now, he's pretty much abandoning his lane, being that second roamer with Renegade.
And that's almost like the problem. Edward, with all of his knowledge and experience, can't really make a lot of big plays happen on a hero like the Hilda. And he's always going to be shadowed by Royal Milk right there, man. Knowing that, they want to go for that turret, they go for it. But look at this solo play attempt on the top side.
Ooh. Looks like Edward is going to get kited, I believe, in top side. But it looks like no casualties at all. Yue so far, Arashi, has been a non-factor in all the team fights so far.
So he's late to the party due to the rotations coming in from his team. Look at this, Edward trying to go for a flank, but can he deny Dax this third turtle?
Look at the perimeter defense from Falcon Esports. Royal Milk, everyone is protecting Dax to get the turtle. Very much so tanky. Royal Milk gonna use the Wrath of the Dryad to stun or taunt some of the members of Falcon Esports. Good dodge coming in from PX7, and everyone is fighting.
Ooh.
Once again, Falcon Esports is winning this one. Kid X in front line getting bursted down by Demon Kite, but it looks like they want to just get away. And no casualties from both, aside from the turtle for Falcon.
To be fair, Domain Kite wasn't really a factor there, but look at this. Oh, Dax, come on, man. You gotta relax. Going in for almost a 1v3 play right there. That's how confident this guy is. But that setup for Falcon Esports was so good. And again, Kid X now might be the next victim. Might be a bit too tanky though. You're seeing Aurora getting some more damage available, but again, not really knowing the angle of approach to try and deal with Falcon Esports here. They've tried the front to back, they've tried the flank coming in from Edward too, but in that fight, Royal Milk just stood there, taking damage from 3 different members, right? Taking all the damage ticks from Yue on the Chushin, and he was actually doing almost more damage to the members of Aurora instead. And then afterwards, of course, the ulti gets popped, and then they're just stuck in a tough position. So they have to try and figure that out before anything else.
And one more thing that makes Royal Milk so tanky is the fact that he goes for full-on magic defense items in what's the yellow item again? Radiant Armor.
Radiant Armor.
Yeah, and so far, Mr. Domain Kite is not present in the team fight, so it's gonna be good for him to just tank all the magic damage away. But so far, nothing much aside Benny popping up the Summon Force.
Ooh.
Oh, meanwhile, though, Akitech's gonna get pounced on by Domain Kite and also Renegade. Not much damage, though. Domain Kite, Avatar of Guardian on towards... Oh, it's actually Aurora who uses it. I thought it was Falcon Esports, but Royal Milk taking a lot of heat here with Revitalized still able to tank the damage from Mr. Domain Kite.
Overall, I mean, it's looking pretty tough for Aurora. 3k gold down, but Domain Kite hasn't really been denied so much. He's still farming up. I don't know if I don't think he is at a gold advantage compared to Benny, but he's still definitely a real threat. You're seeing him do legit damage to Falcon Esports, and that's possibly because of what you said, Shevin. Royal Milk went for that Radiant Armor, anticipating more damage coming in from Demon Kite and Yue in this game, at least in the early game. So for now, before those physical defense items gets completed for Falcon Esports, there's a window here where Demon Kite can possibly make a game-changing play.
For sure, and you can see that before Royal Milk actually takes a lot of damage from Mr. Demon Kite, and Demon Kite too, focusing on more attack speed actually with Windtalker and also Feather of Evan to be able to burst down the frontliners from Falcon Esports. So he has to be able to do that and not really being picky towards the target. Meanwhile, Dax once again on the objective take.
It's going to be a Lord though, so it's a different situation. It's no longer a turtle that doesn't do too much damage. You're seeing the members of Falcon Esports get quite low.
Okay, Royal Milk already half HP. Demon Kite still trying to find a way to get in. Dax with the Quad Shadow already being used. Edward though still gonna be able to use that, but Dax with the Retribution, beautiful one. Demand Force by Mr. Benny taking or dealing a lot of damage as well, but it looks like he's gonna be able to do the deal with the damage from Aurora as well. My goodness gracious, Falcon Esports finally falter in kill department.
Just like that, 3 members down, not a single kill. Traded back by Falcon Esports. Aurora did a great job just weathering out that early game, just letting the HP bars of Falcon Esports go lower and lower. And as they were showing, they're flashing all of their threats right there. Domenkite, the guy we were hyping up, we were talking about being one of the last hopes of Aurora for this game, just comes in with a massive blazing duet and shreds everyone down.
Dax actually still very much perfect in the objective department, man. That was a hard retribution as well, Arashi. A lot of CCs, even Mr. Domenkite just jumping in with a blazing duet, a lot of damage on towards him, and he still was able to execute the battle spell in the perfect time. And that gives some kind of hope as well towards Falcon Esports in the next one.
I think they're still definitely ahead technically, but the gold lead is gonna shrink down a bit more. You know, they've been able to get all the neutral objectives, but now with 3 members down, how much are they gonna actually be able to get using this first Lord? You know, it's not really that strong. It can be cleared quite easily, and we're seeing that Aurora is ramping up in damage. You know, all these early game cheesy frontline strategies, the Hylas Beleric frontline, eventually with the right items, they're going to be vulnerable enough that Falcon can still tank damage, but now they got to be a bit smarter about it. They can no longer just stand there 1v3 and survive the onslaught.
Yeah, and also a really good job from Edward as well. He actually didn't go for the normal approach in like front to back, and he actually goes for more of a flank towards Dax. And he's been doing that for pretty much the whole game, and this time it actually paid off. Domenkite's going to make a quick work out of the Lord, just as you said, Arashi.
Yeah, Edward did the same thing in the previous fight, but then there wasn't, Domenkite wasn't there. You know, the item power sets weren't there just yet. But looking at the gold right here, I think it is just about equalized. Let's look at the replay here. It's Kid X just zoning everyone away. And as you mentioned, Edward corrals Dax to commit into the middle of the pit. And that's where Domenkite just comes in, shreds everyone down. It's a full channeled blazing duet. And everyone just stands there, taking all the AoE damage coming in from... Oh, hang on a second. It's a purple buff attempt from Aurora.
Okay, they're gonna be caught in a sticky situation here. Frigid Glacier not connecting to anyone. Everybody is gonna fall for or towards Mr. Dax. Domenkite trying to get away with only a little bit of HP. Dax gets the second kill. Might be the third one on towards Edward here, but it looks like the mid laner and also Benny getting the kill in the top lane.
What was that? Out of nowhere, basically a wipeout. Demonkite, the only member surviving. We said that Falcon Esports might have lost the Lord value due to that, you know, the 3-man, you know, casualties. But now they almost wiped out Aurora and they're going for the objectives. And all things considered, they're able to actually get all of the turrets except for the base turrets. And that's a great conclusion from the first Lord itself. Look at the goal lead, man. Immediately, it has shifted once more heavily in favor of Falcon Esports.
5k gold lead. That is insane. Just off of a single team fight, and they have all the map available. Only inhibitor turrets is separating them towards a victory for Falcon Esports. And now, like, what's going to be the nail in the coffin here for Falcon Esports, Rashi? Towards Aurora that has a not really the greatest base defense, I gotta say.
Yeah, not a lot of high ground, right? The Claude can't really clear waves that well, from far away at least. The same thing can be said for the Tushin. I think they have to, Aurora wants to play this Lord kind of setup, and Falcon eSports, I think they'll do much better if they focus more on actually going for the kills instead of going for the 50-50 objective take. We know that Dax has the solid retribution, but their composition overall, if they want to focus more on the Lord, that allows Aurora to really get more setups, more combos in. And Falcon eSports has just more burst damage to really be a threat to it. Look at this.
Ogi Shadow Kill towards Domenkite. My goodness gracious, he is unstoppable indeed. Dax 5-0-3 so far, and that is a green light towards the Lord.
I thought there's going to be some kind of team attempt to try and go for a pickoff, but it's just Dax solo, man. This is how, I keep saying it, this is how confident he is, and we've seen it in previous tournaments. This guy is definitely a menace, but Aurora is not backing away.
Oh, it's a 4v5, but they still want to take this one. Dax not having the retribution just like BS7 is already very, very low. Edward still hovering towards the back line of Falcon eSports. Royal Milk and crew still taking all damage from the front line. And it looks like Falcon eSports gonna get this one. Dax once again with the Ogi Shadow Kill. Did he get this one? No! Vex again! It's gonna be 2 kills for Mr. Dax. Or 1 kill actually. And now it's not over just yet. Look at damage towards Mr. Domenkite from a single chronovision of Harith.
Renegade barely surviving there with an invisible amount of HP on the Gadokacha. But now, 1 member down, no Chushin, Yue not available. The Lord is coming through. Falcon eSports looking to try and end this.
Okay, they're still trying to find the avenue here. His pathway on towards the front. And Redward is going to take his time with the back line, try to deal or taking all damage away. Blazing Duet not going to be able to do anything against the Ogi Shadow Kill of Dax. And this should be over with Falcon eSports out of nowhere taking this one from Aurora.
They just brute force that game's conclusion. Even the base is just no safe zone for Aurora.